It can't be that bad, oh, 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 it can't be that
It
bad.
actually wasn't as scary as I thought. I remember as a kid being really scared of this movie and like only like seeing it out of like the corner of my eye or something.
There's a lot of scary visual representations that you see, but it's not as scary as I remembered watching it the first time I did.
It's a very thought-provoking scary film, that's for sure.
That's why I'm very appreciative of it, and that's why I think it did pretty well critically, is because it had a very original concept, in my opinion, and it's a good story with not too many jump scares, but very scary visuals. Yeah,
I feel like they set up a bunch of jump scares, but never actually like
commit to it.
Yeah, like when in the very beginning when the two girls are, I mean, if we're just gonna get into it, when the two girls are hanging out at the house, and she keeps opening the refrigerator door.
Yes,
like I kept expecting something.
Well, and I'm appreciative when they kind of edge us for.
You love edging, bro.
Dude, I love edging. They edge us and it doesn't happen, and it happens. The jump scare happens where we're not expecting it the most.
Just like edging.
Straight up. This movie edges us. The Ring edges.
You're about to say Samara edges us.
I was like, oh, that dead girl's not of age, and I can't say that.
It's okay, she's dead.
Welcome to another episode of ICBTB podcast, also known as It Can't Be That Bad podcast. Welcome to Baddies for us, dude.
Hello, baddies. My name's Alejandro.
And my name is Christian.
We're going to talk about some movies. It's October still.
Yeah.
It's scary movie month.
And as you can tell, Alejandro is still very excited for spooky season.
I did bring in some decorations.
Yeah, you have this plastic skull here for Party City.
It's a real skull.
It's a real skull from a very tiny human. A monkey skull is what that looks like. This fake cobweb, which I actually really like.
I don't even think it's fake cobweb. It's just like net.
Oh, it's from an old wharf
ship. Yeah. We watched The Ring.
Yes,
which was fun. It is like one of those movies that I think back to as a kid, and it was like, oh, this is what scary movies are, and it really did set up a bunch of tropes and things that kind of come back in later. Like Missed Call and The Grudge.
One Missed Call. Yeah. If you were to talk to anyone within our age group, when this came out, 2002, we were probably like 9 years old, and it fucked up a lot of people. Like a lot of people say, like, this was like my introduction to horror movies. For sure. And it really messed up the horror genre for me.
I mean, I imagine it has a lot of like very tentpole visuals that as a small child you'll latch onto and just be terrified of. Like
now Samara with her hair down, covering her face, wet from the well. That is a scary thing that almost everyone knows where it's from. Right?
Scary movie, and then she starts breakdancing.
Oh yeah, I remember that, and that probably made it easier for people to like deal with having watched The Ring.
Only way I was able to get through The Ring
was just like, okay, because if I don't know if you do this, but after you watch a scary movie, you kind of plant the visuals somewhere in your room, like, oh, you're looking in the dark corner of your room, and you're like, Samara might be up there.
No, I don't do that.
But then after watching Scary Movie, where they make fun of Samara. Because I've done this before.
Now you want to see
I told you about the whole thing where, like, when I get scared of the whole Grudge thing and, like, I feel like there's going to be a hand on my head if I'm shampooing, that's when I thought up of an imaginary Jackie Chan in the shower with me, ready to just kung fu off these motherfuckers.
You've told me a lot about the Jackie Chan in the shower with you.
Yeah, and it's a weird thing if you say that without any context. It just sounds super gay.
No. It sounds communicative.
All right, let's get into it. It's okay, dude. Like you said, it wasn't that scary. If you haven't seen it since you were a kid, now that you're an adult, and now that you have thicker skin, and since adulthood is probably the scariest thing in life.
I was going to say, now that you know things that are actually scary.
Yes, like taxes, and like tickets, and like responsibility. This movie's not that bad.
It can't be. No. We watched The Ring. It's rated PG-13 and was released in the year 2000 and deuce. Has a runtime of 1 hour, 55 minutes, or 115 minutes. That's how the old English used to say it.
I don't think so. But okay, I'm not going to challenge you.
Thank you. That's a 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb. An equal 71% on Rotten Tomatoes. However, it does have a 57% on Metacritic. Christian Baltazar.
What's up?
What percentage? I like how you're always surprised.
What? What am I going to do now?
What? What percentage of Google users approve of this film?
87%.
80%.
Oh, okay, it's lower.
But that's a solid rock.
Now, what I think about is, do people rate it down if it scared the shit out of them, or do they rate it down if they thought it was a bad movie?
Or if they didn't think it was scary, or if they like just hate. I don't know, man. That's tough to say.
Yeah, with scary movies, it's different. Like, it's a love-hate thing, depending on like what type of viewer you are.
I hate them. Synapses coming at you.
Right at you.
It sounds like just another urban legend. A videotape filled with the nightmarish images that leads to a phone call foretelling the viewer's death in exactly 7 days. Newspaper reporter Rachel Keller is skeptical of the story until 4 teenagers all die mysteriously exactly 1 week after watching such a tape. Allowing her investigative curiosity to get the better of her, Rachel tracks down the videotape and watches it. Now she's given just 7 days to unravel the mystery. I will say, there is a point when her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend or whatever, Noah watches it, and then the phone rings and they don't answer. And I was like, oh, that's the end of the movie then.
That's it.
That should be it. Credits.
Yep.
If you don't know that's coming in 7 days,
then yeah, you're just gonna die organically. So you think.
Years later.
Yeah.
On your deathbed. Was released in October of 2002, so that's a good time for this kind of movie to come out. And then, of course, it started The Ring 2 and Rings. And this is based on Ring from Japan.
There is, real quick, I saw, so you know how like Freddy versus Jason was a thing?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really knows this, but there is a Ring versus the Grudge movie that came out in Japan. Sadako versus Kayako. I think Sadako means Samara in Japan or whatever.
What?
But it is a legitimate thing where they fight each other.
This.
And baddies, if you think I'm BSing you, go to Google right now. It exists. And the premise is, I think they watched the videotape in the haunted house that the Grudge takes place in.
Yes.
And they just fight each other. And I want to watch this because I think it's actually going to be really funny. And here on the cover, it's the little Grudge boy that meows on the well that Samara comes out of. And I'm just curious.
I love it. That should have been the one we did.
Honestly, I would love to do this behind the paywall and do this on like for Buy Me a Coffee.
Watch me do it, guys.
All right, let's get into it, dude.
Yeah, I do want to ask you real quick, though, about the budget of a film like this. Let me pull up my budget.
2002.
And remember, it is a horror film, so these tend to be fairly cheap.
I'm gonna say $40,000 or $40 million
to make.
Yes,
48 to make.
Okay, 48 to make. I wasn't too far off.
No, not at all.
Think that it got like $150 million.
Well, I will tell you this: it was the highest-grossing horror film until what was it?
What?
The new It.
Ooh.
It was the highest-grossing horror film until the new It came out. It made $249.4 million in its box office alone. Not counting how much money it made in video rentals.
Yeah.
And the original run of the videotape, which featured, of course, the video at the beginning.
Yeah.
Before credits and everything, before the previews, you pop in that tape.
Oh, the actual video?
Yep.
It
plays the whole video, and then it goes black, and then it plays a phone ring.
So what the video reminds me of is it's very artsy. And it reminds me of it's very David Lynch-esque.
When I think one of the guys says like, oh, it looks like a college art project. I was saying that immediately as I was watching. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like multiple times I said, what the fuck am I looking at here?
Have you seen The Alphabet? I think you've seen The Alphabet by David Lynch, right?
No, but I'm familiar.
Yes. And so it's very much of that genre where it's very artsy, but unsettling. It's very anxiety-inducing.
Yeah.
But you could see where the art comes from.
I feel like that's the movie. The video.
Yeah.
Is what the Joker from Dark Knight watches to go to sleep. Like, you know how we all watch like sitcoms or something?
Yeah, this is his
He like puts this on. He's like,
This.
Good night, Samara.
Did you think that video was scary?
I thought it was weird.
Whoa. Okay. So, because I think it's absolutely terrifying. Like, that's something that I don't want to watch by itself. So when it comes to horror movies, are you scared more so of the jump scares or the
jump scares? I hate jump scares.
Okay, that makes
sense.
So
if I found a video and watched that shit, I'd be like, the fuck is this? Like, this is lame.
You would be able to sleep after that? In a dirty ass cabin like she was sleeping in?
Oh no, well not.
That was a scary cabin.
What is the scariest part about the video though? It's like ladder, then the circle,
Just
and then like the person combing her hair.
Samara, yeah, the person combing, like, already the old timey feel because it's in black and white with very shaky.
The chair spinning.
Yeah, the chair spinning, very scary, like unexplained things without context in this order, and then seeing Samara in the reflection, and then seeing a bunch of like drowned horses and a man in a window. These are all different horror tropes just smushed into like 30 seconds.
I didn't realize those were horses until later.
Yeah.
Is that what everybody does?
That was the horses.
I know, but like,
What do you mean?
when I first saw them, I was like, "What is that? Cows on the beach?" And then I was like, "These are horses," and I was like, "That makes sense."
Yeah. I forgot a lot about this movie, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this has a lot to do with horses."
A bunch of horses.
Yeah.
It's
So many.
It's like A View to a Kill, where all of a sudden James Bond's like on a horse ranch, and you're like, "Oh, that's right. This movie's heavily about horses."
That's what it is.
So we already kind of talked about the opening scene where the two gals are having like their sleepover.
Yeah.
And I do love the whole thing. Like, you want to hear it? Like, let me tell you a scary story.
I love it. It's very much in the realm of like how Scream was with Drew Barrymore, like this innocent teenager, just kind of like being a teenager. And these
Having
girls,
a sleepover.
Yeah, and these girls are talking about like, "Oh my God, did you do stuff with Johnny? Did you guys do the deed?"
He's like, "Do what?" And
Yeah. But it was great storytelling because she
Great
was saying,
setup.
"Oh my God, we watched that videotape last week," like, and because they were talking about it like it was lore,
And then she's like,
and pretended to like choke. Little did she know,
she was actually going to die that day.
girl, you dead.
It's very terrifying how they die. Apparently, they are scared to death.
Yeah.
Their heart stops.
Horrible. They said, her mom did research and said she found no cases of any teenagers, 16-year-old girls, just having their heart stop.
It's SIDS, sudden infant disease, or sudden infant death.
Yeah, but the way that she looked in the closet when she had died, no.
So did Samara put her in the closet?
I think that's what it is. It seems like a lot of the victims in this movie, Samara kills and then like puts
Poses
them somewhere
them?
else. Yeah.
This should be funny. Like, puts her finger in their nose.
See? There's ways to make this funny so that you can sleep at night.
That's how I have to do. I was watching with Karen. She always gets upset when I make fun of things too much because she's like, "You're not watching it right." I'm like, "This is the only way I can do it."
Comedy is a coping mechanism.
So I hear.
And so we find out the other teenagers that they had all watched the VHS tape with, they all fucking died exactly
Her
at 10
boyfriend,
PM.
yeah, her boyfriend's friend and his schnooker.
Yeah.
And then we also find out that gal is older cousin to Adrian.
Yeah, I think, is it
Aidan?
It's Aidan.
Aidan.
That man, or that kid
No.
is a
Man.
small man.
Very terrifying. Honestly, he's the scariest thing about the film.
Yes.
I would have smothered him years ago.
I don't
Those
think I would have smothered him.
Scary gaunt eyes, the fact that he's so articulate and like smart.
I don't think so. I have mixed feelings about him. Yes, aesthetically, he's a scary looking kid that's sleep deprived, and why are you talking like that? But also, he's punctual. He makes his own lunch. He wakes the mom up, and he's very independent. Easy kid to take care of. She should be stress free.
You're not even taking care of her. Well, she's not stress. Well, he has to do all that because she's never there.
Yeah, well, she's a shitty mom.
But she's a great journalist.
Yes, she's very good. To the point where she's telling her boss is trying to fire her. Remember that?
I did live that exchange with the red pencil because she does like mention the red pencil.
Yes.
When she's coming to pick up Aidan from school, and then we see the red pencil later when he's like sharpening it or whatever. She's like, "You can't fire me. My story's too good." And like,
Come on, get out of here. Like, yeah, he's telling her own boss to
fuck
get
off.
fuck off.
shoo. I do like when they show what's the mom's name? What's
Rachel?
Naomi Watts.
By the way, looking really pretty in this.
I got shadows of Alice Eve.
Ooh, I could see that a little bit.
Yeah.
Alice Eve a little thicker, but Naomi was
going
very
just face.
petite in this. Do you remember her in Naomi Watts in Peter
King
Jackson's King Kong?
I do.
Yes.
I do.
That's how I remember her the most.
So she goes, there's like a parent teacher or no, she's going to pick up her kid, and then like immediately he's just like, "I'll wait in the car," and it's like, "What?" And then the teacher's like, "Can we talk?" And it's just like, I hate when teachers do that.
What, the talking to the parents?
I hate when the "can we talk" thing. Can we have a second here? And it's like, anyways, she starts showing her all the pictures, all the fucked up pictures that he's drawing.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's creepy because all the fucked up pictures are pictures of Katie, his older cousin that died at the beginning of the movie, her dead. And what's creepy about that is that he had drawn those pictures before it had occurred.
10 days ago, last week.
Yeah.
So is he like connected to the movie somehow, or?
I don't know how he's connected to the demon. It's possible that I don't know. You know how like Samara, he claims that Samara is talking to him?
Yeah.
Was Samara talking to him prior to even watching the tape?
I guess so. Maybe that's what keeps him up at night.
Because I don't understand what his connection to the supernatural is.
I don't remember what I was watching or listening to, but I remember there was a thing where they're like, oh, yeah, I used to draw pictures at school, and the teacher thought I was crazy because I couldn't draw hands. Or there was no hands in any of the pictures.
Yeah.
So she called my parents, and she's like, you know what this means? This means he wants to, like, kill his parents. They're like, what? They're
He
like,
can't draw hands?
no, because he wouldn't draw hands in all the pictures. Look, no hands. Look, no hands. Look, no hands. And then they ask you, like, hey, how come we don't draw hands? He goes, I don't know how to draw hands.
That's all it is.
I
Yeah.
just don't know how.
I still don't know how to draw hands.
Hands are very difficult. They look like W's.
Yeah, or I'll just like make them. I'll put the hands
In
in
the
the
pocket!
pockets. So pretty solid. That
God, I love 9-year-old logic.
yes,
Just put
that's
his
the way to do
hands in
it.
his pocket.
Everything's two dimensional. That kid has way too many crayons. He's drawing so many fucking pictures. Do you remember later on in the movie, he's just drawing a black hole?
Yeah, but he has like, but what he's doing with that scene isn't crayon. He's using like a graphite piece of charcoal, like a real art thing. He's got like all these like, he's drawing a lot. Did
Yeah.
you draw a lot as a kid?
Oh, I always doodled.
Because I had like that car and his like car clipboard that
Yeah.
he had. I had one of those.
And so you could draw on the car? Nice. That's the way to do it.
So they go to the funeral, and that's when we find out that, you know, doctors looked at Katie,
Yeah, Katie.
and Becca's in an insane asylum.
I'm so curious where Becca was when Katie had died. Like, did she see it just happen and that fucked her up? Or did she see Katie and that fucked her up? Because she also had a connection to to Samara. Because when later on in the movie, when Rachel visits Becca in the insane asylum and interviews her, Becca already knows that Rachel watched the tape. She said, "You're gonna die in 7 days, or
Well,
you're gonna
why
die in 4 days, or whatever."
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, maybe she just knows that's why she's coming to talk to her. But you're right, she knows exactly how many more days are left.
Yeah,
Um,
and maybe it's something that we don't know because we haven't watched the sequels, and purposefully they leave a lot of ambiguity so that we should watch the sequels for
Sure.
more information. But I don't know, man. A lot of questions with this movie. And what?
no,
Uh,
the questions though aren't unexplained. Though, for the most part, we learn a lot of stuff like this. I don't know if they intended to make sequels when they wrote this, right? I think they wrote this as an all-inclusive one thing. Like, we're gonna make this movie, and then the company was like, nope, now you're gonna make another one and another one.
yeah, because especially with the ending, which we won't talk about and we'll get to.
Yeah, it's pretty definitive.
Yeah, it wraps it up pretty much.
It does, and then there's like that extra scene where the kid's just like, no, why'd you do that?
I don't know. Did you like it overall?
I did. I liked it a lot more. I'm so glad I didn't watch it as a child though, because it would have fucked me up quite a bit.
So they go to the funeral, and now Rachel's asking about all these other students, what they
She sees that one actor who's in everything, who's out there, one of the other high school kids.
was smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, the guy, he was gonna be the Flash at one point.
Oh shit, dude! I thought he was gonna be in the rest of the movie. I was like,
I hoped he was.
because the way they shot it, they put some importance on him.
Yeah.
Like, and he had some good acting chops for the 5 seconds he was on screen.
Hey, you make a mountain out of a molehill, bro.
It was like he said, like, oh, he died 7 days after they watched that tape, and like she's like, okay, and so she finds out later on. I don't know. Would you go to this extent to try to find that videotape?
no, fuck no, but okay. So Rachel gets a hair up her ass where she's like, I'm gonna solve this thing. She
Yeah.
didn't even know what she's trying to solve.
Yeah.
So she's going through microfiche, and she is like reading old newspapers. She is going hard in the paint. To like she could have just asked Brian Cox. She could have just gone and asked the old man.
Oh, I guess so, huh? Wait, the old man at the island where
Yeah, I guess you have to
she
go to the
didn't know
island.
where the island was, dude.
Oh.
And there wouldn't be a movie. But like that, I think my favorite part, it's so easy to fuck up the montage of like doing research to get behind why these dark occurrences are happening,
Sure.
right? But I liked how it made sense. She found out where the cabin was, right?
Well, at the funeral, she goes up to Katie's room,
Yeah.
and all the faces are fucked up.
Yeah, all the faces are messed up. I think that's another scary visual was the pictures, like if I were to take pictures of you and all of your face were to be blurry in every single photo with different cameras, different Polaroids, it would be terrifying, right?
It is, and it happens like immediately too, because later on we see boyfriend Noah at the convenience store, and he like sees his face, and it's like
he didn't believe it because Rachel was showing him pictures after she had watched the tape, and he was just like, "You're using the same camera for this? Is there something wrong with the film?
How are you doing this? Like, what's the effect?" And then she tells him about the video, and again, he's right because later on he points out, he's like, "You had no problem with me watching the video." She definitely was like, "Watch this fucking video right now."
Yeah, well, she had a little bit of like hindrance with it. She didn't believe it fully. She was just a little spooked. But she said, "I don't know if I want to show you this." Right? And he was just like, it's nothing. It's a videotape. And he grabs it from her and decides to do it. And he's so nonchalant about it until he gets to that convenience store and he sees that his face is blurry.
It's terrifying. The cabin scene.
Yeah.
The cabin reminds me of the house from Up. Has the same porch, same 2 windows in the front.
But just messed up.
But just like no balloons.
Covered in moss.
And in just like a place where a bunch of murders happen.
And a well underneath? Really?
Is the guy who runs the inn, does he know what's going on, or is he just completely out of the loop? Because I hate him.
I think he's super naive. Oh, because you hate him because he's bad at magic tricks.
That's exactly why I hate him.
Pick a card and card.
Such an easy trick to do.
The only comic relief that occurs in the movie is him. That's it.
And he should have been back in there more.
How did the tape get there? Do we find out why it was there?
No, because I got confused later with the interrogation tape. Mm-hmm. Right? When they first see that the interrogation tape is gone, then I was like, oh, it was in the cabin. But no, then there's a whole different...
Another tape.
And then she's got a copy of the tape, and it's just like, so many tapes, get a DVD player.
Yeah. I mean, like, we find out later. Let's not spoil it for... I mean, everyone's seen this. But, like, they make a copy, and there's a lot of reasoning. There's a lot of, like, story behind why you should make a copy. So, thank God Naomi Watts made a copy, showed the copy to Noah.
But he still got fucked up.
And he still got fucked up.
Yeah.
I was curious. I couldn't remember if if you make a copy, does it still have that effect? No, you're supposed to make a copy and show someone else.
But it does, because remember when they put it in the thing and all the numbers are fucked up?
Yeah. Both of the numbers are fucked up.
Yes. Well, I do love also, just to scratch our editor, creator brain. Look at the big fucking machines it used to take to have to like go back frame by frame on a tape and like screenshot and print and shit, like rooms of computers for her to do. And we do it on these tiny laptops. Yeah. No sweat.
What a slap in the face to all the people that went to school specifically for VHS.
Yeah, dude.
Right? Because they thought that was going to be the booming platform for video, but now we discs, and now we can just stream.
I stream quite a bit. I streamed this movie.
Same here.
That's also why I wasn't scared, because I didn't have to pop a tape in. I feel like if I would have had to have done the ritual of like popping a tape in to watch this movie, it would have been scarier.
2002, VHSs were still a thing.
Easily.
The Ring on VHS.
And the other thing is, like, why people had VHSs still in 2002? Because they were still doing the battle of like Laserdisc versus DVD, and like nobody knew which was better. Mm-hmm. And then Xbox came out with a DVD player in their game system, and it was like, well, go on DVD.
Do you think this movie would be taken seriously if instead of a VHS tape, it was a Betamax tape? Just a small little tape
that you have to pop inside a bigger tape to play.
Oh, it's so cute. Let me put that in there, and I'll put this in there. And then, oh my God, I'm gonna die in 7 days? No.
She does go into like a deep, dark depression though, and that's when we see Aidan make his own lunch. Yeah. Which it doesn't seem like that's the first time he's made his own lunch.
No, he's just a PB&J. He's on like a step stool so he can reach the kitchen counter, and he's like, I'm going to school.
And that's when he runs into Scary Man in Jacket, who ends up being Noah.
So he knows that that's his dad. They just stare at each other for a second and no exchange?
He knows that guy is around, right? Because remember, he says later, I've seen you take pictures of me when I was at the park or when I was playing or something like that.
Oh, and then finds out later. He's smart enough to put it all together.
He's like, there's a reason why you're following me around. I never met my dad, so I bet you're probably like, that's how I see it. I see that. If he's a grown man in a kid's body, then he probably has grown man logic.
Aidan's calling everyone by their first name.
He calls his mom Rachel.
Good night, Rachel. No, I don't need a bedtime story. Okay.
He read the babysitter a bedtime story. Do you remember that little exchange?
Oh.
When Rachel comes home and the babysitter's asleep.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, hey, how'd it go? He's like, oh, he's good. He tucked himself in already and read me a bedtime story.
Yeah. Dude, so easy to take care of.
So now Noah's fucked. Rachel's fucked. And I do love that every few minutes they do like, Friday. 5 days left. Saturday. 3 days left.
Of course, we need a countdown because we need to know how high the stakes are every single day. The clock is ticking.
The only problem that I have is I think it's day 5 or 4. She does way too much. Because by that time they've already split up and he's doing his research and she's doing her research.
Yeah.
And it's like too much is happening in the day. Because like earlier you could only get through 2 or 3 things. And then like now you're like traveling.
I think she has a little more
shit
like
and,
pep in her step, dude.
Well, I guess she's getting closer to the deadline. That is true.
Yeah, and she's finding out more information, which is giving her more options of where to do research, right?
Yeah. What was with the burn mark? Her hand burn mark. Is that just Samara grabbing her?
Samara grabbing her hand, and I think that was just to let her know that it wasn't just a dream.
Because
yeah.
Aidan gets it too, doesn't he?
Yeah, and so she's able to see that, like, fuck, Samara still exists.
Because Aidan watched the film.
That was a crazy part.
That was really sad.
The acting in that part was so good, and she usually never has to really take care of Aidan because Aidan is so independent. But right there in that moment, I think that was the first time Aidan really felt that maternal love and protection because he starts calling her mom after that. He starts realizing, like, I did something wrong. Like, what? Like, obviously, you're protecting me. Like, you're being a mom. I think prior to that, she was such a crappy mom that he didn't feel the need to call her by that title that has so much weight behind it, right? Mom.
I didn't even... Wow, Christian.
Yeah, dude. Because he writes mom on, like, the drawing that he draws for her.
Yep.
Right? Later on. And he's still calling Noah because Noah's still a shitty dad.
I do like the pictures that he draws and the faces. Like the circle with the big line.
Yeah, he draws Samara, and he tries to draw the hair, and the hair is just a bunch of black scribbles over the face.
Which is a reference back to the...
Oh, yeah, the drawings from earlier.
So that's why I thought maybe Samara did that. But no, I think when she makes you go crazy for 7 days, she just fucks with you for 7 days.
Well, she's talking to Aidan. And
Becca?
I think she's
Maybe.
talking to Becca.
We're not sure 100%.
Yeah, but there's something there. And I don't know, man. Like, it's the storytelling in this movie really good because things just start to pick up from there.
One problem that I have, and it takes place on the ferry.
What?
When they get on the ferry, when they figure out where the lighthouse is, and they go on their Scooby mystery.
Yeah.
And she sees the horse trailer, and the horse starts going fucking bananas.
Scary, man.
Hooves scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horses are strong.
They're hella strong. They're 800-pound beasts with all muscle and then just like rocks attached to their hands and feet. Mm-hmm. And they have blind spots. They're scary. Anyways, that horse breaks out, starts running around. Everybody has a rope.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 different men had ropes.
Trip the horse real quick. Do something, right?
Well, the horse death is maybe the most brutal thing ever.
Horrible. It gets stuck under the boat and gets chopped up by like propellers or something.
The way that it like falls out to, that was...
When it jumps off of the ship, it's like hooves catch the edge of the ship, and so it trips into the water.
Oh my God. And you know what I learned that was crazy was the first couple of times they did it, they didn't get the splatter right. So like 6 horses.
Stop. Get another horse. Was that our 7th one? They killed way more back in the day.
We're running out of horses here, Bill.
We're running out of horse. Bill, the horse guy.
Could we use like maybe a bag of blood? No, has to be a horse.
We're trying to go for real practical
and
effects.
That poor little girl whose horse it is, she probably really owns a horse.
Yes.
Because she's doing some method acting.
Now, what's crazy is that Rachel just
walks away.
Just walks off that boat. No repercussions.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, it was me that agitated the horse because I watched the tape.
And nobody even asked her, like, hey, what's going on here? Like, what happened? How did a horse... Did you let the horse out? Like, how did a horse get out of its trailer?
Completely edited that scene out. I want there to be a deleted scene where she's, like, explaining herself. She's just like...
To the cops or something?
She's like, the horse, it fucking freaked out.
That's, like, one of my favorite lines from Rick and Morty is in the Meeseeks episode.
Yeah.
And when Jerry finally, like, gets all the Meeseeks to go away, and then he kisses... What's the mom?
Oh my gosh, why am I forgetting her name? Anyway, go ahead.
He goes in and he's like, "We'll take our food to go," and the manager's like, "No, you won't. You have a bunch of questions to answer. The police are on their way right now."
Yeah.
That's the line that I always wish we could see in movies.
Perfect, dude, because like everyone's thinking of like, yo, Rachel just killed this fucking horse and
Off to the lighthouse.
all right, yeah, like I'm just gonna keep doing my thing.
Whistling as she goes.
I don't have enough time.
That
Gonna
little
die in 4
girl
days.
Is in like shock.
Shambles,
Yeah,
dude.
her horse and the dad's upset. And you know how expensive horses are?
Yes.
Thousands of dollars just got eaten. Six
Yes.
times got eaten by a boat,
Yes, because 6 horses died.
and they're all hers. Oh my god! So Rachel gets to the Morgan house, or Morgan's house. Is Morgan their last name?
I think it was the last name, Samara Morgan or Samara.
Yes, because our notes here from producer Alan say Mr. Morgan. So he's doing the traditional cowboy thing of fixing fences, which, from what I understand, is most of the job of a cowboy.
Yeah,
Just fixing fences, counting cattle,
living a
fixing fences.
rural life. He's not suspicious yet.
No, but you know, Brian Cox is the guy who does the McDonald's commercials.
Really?
Yes, I love me some McDonald's.
I didn't know that. That's weird that you know that. You must really love McDonald's.
And you know who wrote the "Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it"?
Brian Cox?
No, Justin Timberlake.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa, so does he get royalties?
Yeah.
Man, that guy's already super rich.
So Rachel meets him and like has no poker face whatsoever.
No.
Right? She's just like straight up telling him everything. And then she's like, "Here's the tape." And then he's like, are there any other copies? And she's like, "Yes." It's like, why the fuck would you say that?
Yeah, she should have just said
No.
because you're gonna piss this guy off. Right?
And he had that hook in his hand. I was expecting him to with the hook, and
but the movie would just end there. We need Rachel.
it would turn into like Saw or something, you know.
I'm glad we're not doing any of those movies.
You have no idea.
And so after that, she visits like the island's only doctor.
Hang on a second. I'm just looking at the notes here from Alan, and this one says, "Mr. Morgan tells Rachel to dip."
Alan has like putting in some slang up in these notes.
This is just how he types.
Yeah.
Tells her to dip. Yada mean. So then she goes to see the doctor. Well, but hang on. At the same time, Noah's doing his research.
Yes.
And he does the best.
He's
move.
good, yeah.
When he goes in, then he's like, "Hey, I need to see the records." Blah 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 blah. And they're
He
like,
goes to the asylum where Samara and her mom, or where Samara was admitted, right?
Yes, and they're like, "Well, we can't let you into the records." He's like, "Hey, man, I've been up there already. Just like let me go in there and see it." And the security's like, "It's not up there, idiot. They're kept downstairs."
And so, of course, he breaks into the downstairs. Really good. That was really good. Smart.
That one I'll give Noah. Noah wins extra points for that
Stupid
one.
for the rest of the movie.
Pretty much, right? That's the best thing he does.
When Rachel falls in the well later on, he's like, "Hey, you okay?"
Hey. And then and the other thing, it's like they're like, "We should drop something down the well. Drop one of those flashlights.
Something.
That's how you can see how deep the well is, because you can see where the light goes."
Yeah.
Instead, they're like, "How about a rock?" Of course, you're not gonna be able to see where the rock goes.
Yeah. Yes. And it's just gonna hit her on the head.
That's hilarious. We'll get to the well because I have so much to say about the well.
Yeah.
Excuse me. This is when Aidan tells Rachel that he talks to Samara and has like a really crazy connection with Samara. Do you know who Samara is?
I know that she's really attractive now.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, like Samara now in 2021.
She
really good looking.
She was terrified. She at the premiere, she was so scared she couldn't even watch the movie.
I get it. Sarah Paulson, who is in every single season of American Horror Story,
Yes,
is a
Marsha Clark from
scaredy
the
cat.
O.J. Simpson.
Yes, she's a scaredy cat because I think is it Jimmy Fallon or is it Jimmy Kimmel I think it's Jimmy Fallon that sends Sarah Paulson to like the haunted houses during like Halloween time, and she's terrified. She goes in there with it's Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
Sends her in with the producer.
That's horrible.
So I imagine Samara, especially being like a young girl,
Yeah, of course.
like at this time.
This is not the actress's first movie.
What was her?
She had a movie come out 1 year before this in 2001.
What?
Lilo and Stitch.
You're kidding. Who was she?
She was Lilo.
Really?
Yeah.
And she barely had a talking role in this. They're
She didn't have to.
You have a very cute voice, but you have a scarier face.
Yeah, that being actually, we don't even really see her face.
Later on, we see
That's
a
true.
little
That's
bit.
true. But just the.
And in the interviews.
Oh yeah, those are terrifying interviews.
Yeah.
The found footage of like the interrogation.
Yeah.
Very scary.
And Samara saying stuff like, Mom loves me. Dad doesn't love me. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. And very scary horror tropes, dude.
I hate kids.
That's it being scary without it using jump scares.
Yes. The creepiness of all the things in the video coming back, the ladder, the centipede, the chair, all of that stuff coming back is really well done. And I think that's something that this film did really well of barely even planting a seed in the beginning and then having it come back so far back later on in the film.
Without shoving in your face. You know?
The one thing that they did kind of shove in our face is the tree, the red tree.
Oh, in front of like where the cabin was?
Yeah, the tree that changes the sunlight.
I was thinking that cabin wouldn't be half as scary if the weather was better. It was just really gloomy.
They should go there like in the middle of August.
Yeah.
No, but it's the northwest, so it's always gloomy.
Oh, okay, good
right?
point.
She's Seattle, isn't she? It's always gloomy.
I'm used to California weather.
California. Sing it.
In the city, California.
When they find Samara's room, that's a cool fucking room.
No. That where the tall ass ladder. It's like in the barn.
If it's like insulated and it's cool, you got like a PlayStation up there. That's the room I would want.
If the wallpaper was better, if there was a wall.
Wallpaper was garbage. Don't even get me started on the wallpaper because it peels off like fucking wrapping paper.
Yes. Wrapping paper. That they use wrapping paper and horse glue.
I was like, the horse glue.
I'm sorry, you said horse glue in the past. You know, Elmer Fudd.
Elmer's glue is made from horses. No, but at least that would have stuck better. It literally looked like they like licked the paper and stuck it onto the wall.
Yeah. Well, I just didn't like that. You could roll off your bed, roll on the ground, and fall to your death at the bottom of that barn. Because it's just a ladder put up again. Like, her room's all the way up there.
And the scariest ladder in the history of ladders.
I'm sorry, I'm not climbing that.
Just a one-sided straight ladder that they made two people climb. Did you see it bow a little bit when they both got on the ladder? It's a scary ladder. The ladder's scarier than the room.
The ladder's scarier than the tape.
Honestly?
Yes. Because you have two options when you're going to climb up to Samara's room. A, wait 3 more days when you're going to die because you watched the tape, or die in 3 seconds because you're going to fall off that ladder.
What if they waited in the room, and so when Samara came to kill them in 7 days, she'd be like, my room. And then just like, I stay here now.
She's not a caveman, dude. She's still very smart if she can trick these people into like killing them.
Yeah, but that's how she talks now.
No,
Why use lot word when few do trick?
No, just because she drowns, she's not a caveman.
Well, man.
She doesn't have a deep voice like that.
And then the well, shockingly enough, guess what it's under?
It's under the cabin 12.
Yes.
Where they watch the videotape.
And does like that innkeeper not check on his properties at all?
She's like,
because they destroy the flooring of that apartment.
Yeah, do you think he came back? He was just like,
what the fuck?
Naomi, what? Naomi, what?
He drops character because he's pissed. Now am I gonna fix this?
Fuck.
I was getting a little bit of like Norman Bates vibes from him at first. I was hoping he would kind of come back and be like involved or something, be like the brother. You know what I mean?
I was fine with him being the comic relief.
Yeah, I just don't like him. I wished he had more. Again, we talked about the rocks, dropping rocks down the well to see how far it goes.
Yeah.
And then,
real quick, what were the chances that they go inside that cabin and it's just like, we gotta find one clue, and he happened to like pull the power cord and then drop all of the marbles, and all of the marbles like just magnetized to the center of the floor, and they're like, oh, let's move this rug.
It's like a depression or something.
It was a depression.
That's what I think it is. It's like a depression in the wood.
I thought it was like a magnet.
But that wouldn't make sense, because if it's built over something and they put like the TV and all that shit on top of it, nobody would ever stand there. So that wood should still be strong.
Shouldn't they always trip and feel the depression every time they walk over that part of the rug?
Watch your step there.
Watch your step there.
Earlier we dropped some marbles. We didn't think anything of it. We just cleaned it up.
Not one person has thought to remove the rug.
Oddly enough, the magnetic marbles is something that happened in the real Annabelle story that they didn't even talk about in the movie. But one of the kids' marbles, that was something that would happen in that house. Mm-hmm. The marbles would like become magnetized and start rolling around on their own and stuff like that. But they didn't even put that in the movie.
That would have been a cool horror thing to put in there.
Well, they already did it in The Ring.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So they break downstairs. Like there's a whole sub level. And then they do such a weird way to kind of kill Rachel.
Dude, what happens
It's
is
like a comedy of errors
yes
thing.
It's everything that can go wrong goes wrong. So they open the well up, right? They
Yep.
remove the lid, and then immediately afterwards the floorboards break a bit more and the TV falls off of the TV stand, rolls down, and since it's an old TV from the early 2000s,
smashes her in the face.
and she falls into the well. Crazy Jedi force powers that Samara is using to get Rachel up in that well.
Up in that well just to like have her find her body?
Yes, that's all.
To release her into the society.
And she was completely fine. I'm surprised that Rachel didn't hit the edges of the well once.
Well, she had a couple of marks like on her face and stuff like that, but she should be dead.
She's at least concussed at the
Because
very.
let's say that the water's not high enough for her. It's low enough for her to stand it.
Mm-hmm.
And she fell from the very top. So she should be dead.
Yes, but she's completely fine. She's
No
still
broken
very
bones.
pretty. Yeah.
Well, she's not hitting the ugly tree on the way down.
And I don't think it's a perfect cylinder, this well. I think it's because the opening is tiny, but there's a lot of space at the bottom
I think that is wells, though.
in general.
Yeah.
You think so? What? It just like gets wider and wider and wider.
Or just like the hole goes to like the water spring and then it's just open down there.
Okay,
But
maybe.
again, I am not a 15th century farmer from Pennsylvania, so I have never actually used a well.
I've never seen a well.
Well.
But she decides to like pick up the body.
I did. Okay, so the well joke I made while we were watching the movie.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they see the well, they kind of like have like a pause on it.
Yeah.
And I looked over at Karen and I go, huh. Well.
And she reacted like this. Babe, stop.
No, she goes, I hate you.
Oh, I should have gone with that.
When we were driving to the camping trip, we kept passing by these farms that had hay, and I would go, hey!
Stupid. You're like, pat on the back.
Good job, Alex.
No wonder we kill at open mics, right?
I go, these jokes never get old. She goes, no, they do. So she's in the well playing with bones.
Mm-hmm.
If you fell in a well,
Dead. I don't care. I'm done.
also you
Don't
can't-
get me out.
You can't drink that. don't even try, guys. Don't even try.
Yeah.
That well, the water's poisoned now because there's a rotting, decaying body in there.
Yes. You're getting a rash at the very least.
Bad rash. You're getting so messed up. And the skull, when she disintegrates, that's a big skull. I don't think that was like size for Samara.
I don't know. Samara had a lot of hair to cover up maybe a huge head.
No, but we see her because she's holding like not wet Samara.
Oh, at first, yes.
Yeah, and then it like disintegrates into the
Deteriorates into a skull. 2002 CGI.
which was fun.
It was kind of cool. Like, not that bad.
No, honestly, the graphic, because there isn't so much like a ghost walking by or an alien or something, like they really didn't have to do too much CGI. So a lot of this movie is pretty practical, real stuff.
Yeah.
Which was good. And I thought that was going to be the end of the movie.
Of course, but I think that's too predictable. What's a horror movie without a twist?
Well, how about another 45 minutes?
There was about 30 more minutes in the
Yeah,
film after
dude.
this.
By the time she falls in the well, and then Brian Cox kills himself.
Oh, that scene. So yeah, the old man, Mr. Morgan, he's wearing a power outlet like a fucking chain.
And a horse bridle, and he's plugging everything in.
The setup itself, there are more wires in the bathroom than are in the studio at the moment. And he
Oh,
was just-
100%. 100%. And then each wire is running through the bathtub. But I don't think running just the wire into the water is how that works. I think you need to have, like, the metal showing, don't
How
you?
embarrassing would it have been if he had, like, turned on that power strip and he was still alive? He'd be like,
I really
okay.
thought that would work.
Maybe tomorrow.
He has to wait a full day to... Oh, that's right. I didn't pay the electric bill.
I mean, I'm sure at one point you just get too tired.
Go get the gun.
All right. Oh, I forgot. I don't own one.
So he put that bridle in his mouth, and then he turned on the electricity, and the bridle for the horse was electrified.
Yes.
So his head exploded.
I'm sure it did. I mean, at some point, maybe they didn't show that.
No, they didn't, but that's what I think they're hinting at.
This movie's what, PG-13, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so
I do want to do a one shout out that I caught, and I'm really proud of myself with this little Easter egg. Is when when Naomi watches on the balcony, while Noah is watching the movie, she's looking into the windows of other people, right? Much like in Rear Window, the Alfred Hitchcock film.
Yeah.
And then the last window she sees is a guy with a broken leg and binoculars on the windowsill, just like in Rear Window.
Whoa, so little
It's an exact real, like a little
nod.
tip of the old noggin.
That's cool, man.
I
That they
found
paid
that
some
one. I was really
homage
proud of myself when I saw that.
without having to do research.
Nope, just saw that and was like, Alfred Hitchcock callback. I got it.
Was this was a Japanese film prior, right?
It was.
Okay.
From 99 or 98, I think was when it was made.
I wonder, because Asian horror films, they do something, even if the technology is not as advanced because they're older, it's still really fucking scary. Because the first time I watched The Grudge wasn't the American Grudge. I watched the Japanese Grudge, and that messed me up.
Japanese Grudge, I can imagine is scary. Ring Grudge, or
Maybe it's scary.
why didn't they call that one Grudge Match?
Because it's too funny. It's too
And that's
funny.
also the Stallone De Niro movie.
Yeah, that'd be confusing with the search
Oh.
engine.
I mean, yeah, so they go home, and then that's when she talks to Aidan, and Aidan's like, you fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have let her out. Like, you
did, yeah. She was saying, it's over, Aidan. Like, we laid her to rest. He's
were
like,
burying
"What?
her.
You took her out? You took her out?
You let her out of the well?
Yeah, now she's gonna keep killing.
How does the well, I guess I was going to say, how does the well close on her? But it was probably Samara.
Yeah, exactly.
But if Samara wanted her to get the body out, why would she lock her in?
Well, I think the person that, I don't know.
Yeah, Noah didn't close it up on her. Because remember, Noah was trying to find like a rope or something. He got hung up on that fire hose
Yes.
and just like could not stand up.
Yeah, he tried to pull the fire hose and they just snagged on him.
And then he's just like tugging and rubbing like for the next 3 minutes. And it's like, just get up. Hey, go find something else.
Yeah, call the cops.
It's a cabin. There's probably like a bungee cord or a rope or something, especially if it's camping.
Like, if you know she's still alive, she might be okay. She's not going to die right there and then quite yet.
Yeah.
Don't get
She
the
hasn't
fire hose.
drowned.
Yes.
She's already confirmed that she's alive.
You still have your phone.
She has a flashlight. Oh yeah, but it was a 2002 cell phone.
Yeah, you're right.
1G. Aidan versus Samara. Who wins in a fight?
Samara's supernatural powers. Aiden's just this little man boy that is
With supernatural powers.
no with powers in terms of punctuality and independence.
I'm
Those-
punctual man.
Yes.
The fly coming out of the TV. Let's just talk about some of the crazy parts, because the fly coming out of the TV.
Well, them reviewing the entire footage and like her having to bend the film a little bit, the tape, and seeing that there's a lighthouse on the edge of the tape, crazy thing that I wouldn't have thought of. And that's how she finds out where the island is.
And like I said earlier, I like how she's like screenshotting it.
Yes.
And it's like physically printing like a Zoltar machine. All right, here we go.
She would have had more days to figure shit out if she had the technology of the internet and smartphones right now.
One iPhone.
Yes.
One iPhone in this whole movie. You block the number. You watch the video like, ooh,
What?
a remake of The Ring, but it's a viral TikTok video.
So anyone that watches it on TikTok dies? Yes. There was a movie that came out a few years ago. It's called Countdown. Are you familiar?
I think so. Was that with Dave Franco?
No. It didn't do too well. It's pretty stupid. But the concept's interesting, where you download this app and it's like this thing that a lot of college students were like, download. I fucking dare you to download this app. If you download it and then you find out what the countdown timer is, it'll show you the exact day that you die.
Whoa.
And so people would download that app and they would do it, and it'd be, some people would get like, man, 37 years? Oh, I'm going to die when I'm 50, 59,
Uh-oh.
right? And then obviously the main character, hers was like, tomorrow, 7 days or something like that. Like, what the fuck? Some people got like 11 minutes. So
And then just like a train falls on him.
it's interesting using the technology that is present when the movies drop
Sure.
to kind of make it a horror device, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily. I don't think this movie is fairly dated for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's based on a VHS player and landlines.
Yeah.
Neither of which exist. But I wouldn't mind in like 5-10 years for them to do like a reboot remake. That would be fun.
Yeah. And maybe it could still be a tape, because it might be a stupid thing that 16-year-olds in a cabin where there's a VHS player just like, look at this tape. blow the dust off of it and then put it in and then still die. And
I don't know why.
be
When you did that, I imagined Jumanji. What is this, Jumanji?
exactly that though, the same concept.
Yeah. Well, hey, and Jumanji was able to update and make, the board game into a video game now and stuff like that.
Like an old ass video game where you choose your character.
Okay. Do you have a best person on set award?
It's gonna go to Aidan. I think Aidan is solid. Like Naomi Watts was like really, really good, but for a kid to have acting chops like that and to really be that scary, there's only a few kids that were able to like really pull that off. Like Haley Joel Osment, right?
Yep. Also, not allowed to see The Sixth Sense when it premiered.
I get it. You don't want to mess this child up.
Yeah, but they were there filming it. They know it's not real.
Yeah, but still, like stitching it together.
Yeah. I picked the gal who played Samara. I believe her name is.
Look her up right now, because
I have it right here.
Homegirl's real pretty now.
Chase.
How do you spell that?
DAVEIGH space big C little H little A little S little E.
Yeah. Oh, she's so pretty. That was her. She doesn't even have natural black hair. She was blonde at one point.
And she was in Donnie Darko. Who was she in Donnie Darko?
No clue. Okay, that's solid. Why do you give it to her?
Dude, because she's Lilo.
What? You can't give her Best Person on Set award for a different movie.
Hey, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Look at that.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, the makeup that they put on her, like toward the end.
I think as the movies go on, we see more and more of her, huh?
Yeah, we do. I'm pretty sure once you've seen the face, you've seen it all, right? I'm sorry. I mean, in terms of like Samara.
I love when you try and use an idiom and it's like, it works, but I don't think it works the way you want it to.
Sometimes it's kind of like offensive. Once you see the face, you've seen it all, right? Am I right?
It's like, the dog wags the tail. It's like, that's my mom.
What?
Oh,
but
my goodness.
Arguably the best scene of this movie is when Noah unexpectedly dies. He thinks that he's safe because they had laid Samara's body to rest. He goes back to his really nice apartment. And
with his girlfriend from NCIS.
Yeah. His assistant in this movie. And the TV turns on, he turns it off, it turns back on, and it's the fucking well. It's the fucking well, and she's popping out. And a great little horror device that they use was it skips, and she's closer and closer to the screen, and it skips again. And I loved this special effect that they used. They made when she came out of the screen,
the water,
and she was still like
pixelated.
Yeah, pixelated as if she was still like on tape, right? And she gets closer and closer and gets up close to him, and it's like right in the screen, which is like the popular picture of Samara's face that you could see. Very terrifying.
Do you think when she came out, she was like, "You get one wish," or do you think she just like kills him right away?
I wonder if she just like talks to them for a little bit.
Does she say anything? Because not to bring it back to the Joker again, but he does say people the best right before their moment of death.
Yeah. So. Yes. No, I think she just fucking kills them. What I'm
and
curious
then poses
about
the body.
That's what I want to talk about, because he died on the floor. Naomi Watts comes in later. He's on a chair, meaning that Samara kills this guy and is like, okay, I gotta pick up your body. Let me like wipe all the wet areas.
Some of this water.
Yeah.
Does she like? Do you think she tried a different spot? Like, let's maybe put him at the dinner table. And he's like
laughs.
She's like, no, that looks silly. Let's put him over in the kitchen. He's like washing dishes.
Yeah, does she chill in the apartment a little bit?
She makes herself a snack.
Yeah, and then leaves.
All right, back to the television world.
Because same with Katie in the beginning. Katie dies in her bedroom, and then Samara picks her up and puts her in the closet. Right? I don't know. Samara has a lot of free time in her hands.
And didn't her boyfriend die in a car crash?
Yeah.
So I wonder where they found his body. Probably in the trunk.
No, I think he died in the driver's seat.
Yeah, but then Samara put him in the trunk.
Or did he even die in the car, and then Samara had to stage the car crash and then put him in the driver's seat?
Samara just with like a police officer's hat. All right, closer.
Samara is the hardest working supernatural killer out there.
And actually, I would like to say Samara gets my best person on set award.
Not the girl, not the vague chase.
No.
Samara's fictitious character.
Impeccable, 5 steps ahead moves that she does.
Commitment to the
horror.
crime. Yeah. Like, because it's aesthetically pleasing.
Where's Batman when you need him?
Not here. Not in this universe.
Not yet. He should be.
So that should be the next movie, Batman versus Samara.
Batman the Ring. And people are like, what do they mean Batman the Ring? Like he's like a boxer or something? And then like you sit down like, is that the videotape from the... Wait.
What is this bullshit?
I would love if there was like just everyone in Hollywood was like, no more trailers. And so every movie was... You know how great that would be if every movie was a surprise?
No. I think we need to be teased a little bit. I'm going to
You do
hard
like,
veto real
you
quick.
do like edging.
I love previews because I love edging.
That's when I get all of my edging done is during previews. Because I don't want to be doing this during the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't actually like bust because I ain't Pee Wee Herman.
That's edging. That's the whole thing.
This, what do you give this movie?
Honestly, a 2.5.
Whoa,
Yeah.
a 2.5?
2.5.
This gets a 3.5 from me.
I mean, it's definitely got some tropes and it's definitely a tentpole, and you know, but it wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. Right? It wasn't. It was very. It was.
You don't like the whole concept? The twist is that Rachel and Aidan are still alive because laying Samara's body to rest doesn't save them. It's making a copy of the VHS.
And spreading it.
Spreading Samara's curse. So not only making the copy, but showing someone else. So now, Rachel, and I haven't seen the second one, I don't know if Rachel, for Aidan's sake, has to, Aidan now has to show it to, like, a classmate.
The kid that everybody hates. Hey, you want to come over and hang out?
The stinky kid with boogers all over his face.
Stop it. That was one day.
Oh, that was you? Oh, man.
I don't know, man. I would like to see, like, The Ring 2044, where Aidan is like a grizzled old man, just like forcing people to watch the tape now so he can live forever.
Everyone dies.
Married to Samara.
No, he doesn't have to live forever because he does it once and he's fine. You just leave it alone.
Is that how it works? Because she still tried to kill Rachel.
After that?
No. With the
After she
TV.
showed Noah?
We were talking earlier about killing people with bags over
What?
their head. Remember we were talking about that?
Oh, that was for Highly Irrelevant, right?
Isn't that what Samara's mom does to her? She puts a bag over her.
That's where I got the idea.
And then like
Samara-
Spartan kicks her into the well.
Samara's mom gets the worst person on set award because, bitch, you killed all those horses. And also, bitch, you Leonidas your daughter into the well.
And also, like, each horse, those are thousands of dollars.
Yes.
Horses are expensive.
She doesn't have a good financial mindset.
No, but she has a great head of hair.
Oh, with the ma?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, the ma. She was brushing it like it was luscious.
Yeah, let's give it a B.
I mean, I think Samara should cut her hair off because the long hair is really scary.
She should go with a bob. I think she would look good with a pixie
It'd be
cut.
cute.
Like, be like, ooh, I know you're wet and salty, but your hair looks great.
Can you imagine her coming out of the well, really scary, but just looking great?
And also like, oh, I didn't know you were lesbian.
What are you using, mane and tail? And like, oh, that's right. Oh, who's your friend there?
This is my partner. She drives trucks cross country.
That's probably how the end of the Grudge versus the Ring ends up, is that they get
It's a
into a
love
gay
story.
relationship. It's not a horror movie.
It's a rom-com.
It's a rom-com.
Honestly, I hope we get rich enough where we can make movies and we can just like bastardize. Like once Alien and Predator become public domain in like 50 years, we should totally make like
Where the Predator and the Alien fall in
fall
love.
in love. Like they go to like finally have the swords up against each other's necks and then just like clink.
And start kissing. Freddy versus Jason. Like Freddy has his claw up on Jason's mask and removes the mask and says, "You're beautiful."
And then like hooks the zipper.
With the claw. Oh man. I'm gonna stop there because
And then Chucky. No, I'm just kidding. Chucky's
that's
a kid.
nasty. Well, Chucky, you remember Bride of Chucky?
Yes.
They actually kind of turned Chucky into like this funny horror
There's a
thing.
Chucky TV show coming out now.
I believe it.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
that was the ring. I'm surprised you didn't buy me a ring in honor of this. I would have liked a diamond ring.
If you like it, put a ring on it. If you like it, put a ring.
I used to do that dance. I used to know that dance by heart.
Is that a flex or is that a confession?
These are my confessions.
Yes, I was gonna say that's you can't sing that anymore, but it's R. Kelly that we gotta avoid. All right, baddies.
You know what? No. Fuck Usher also.
What? No, he's a great person.
He cheated on his wife.
Did he?
That's what these are my that's what confessions is all about.
Oh, there, and then he made up for it. And now he's just a good guy that doesn't need to be in the spotlight.
Well, he brought
Still
us,
selling out stadiums.
He brought us Justin Bieber.
Yes. Don't forget
Fuck
that.
Usher.
All right, baddies. You guys know where to find us. Christian has asthma.
You can follow me at Chris Hemsworth.
Never mind. Call_me Jesus is his. Follow the podcast at ICBTB podcast.
And then follow my personal page at Jake Gyllenhaal.
I'm going to stop it here before he makes any more celebrity jokes. All right. Do you have any more things to say?
No, but you guys check out our website. We got new merch coming out real soon.
Yeah, look at Alex's shirt.
We finally decided on a name.
We didn't. Oh. Did we? No. Let's wait on it. Let's wait on it. Let's have a talk about what we're gonna call it. But it's a cool green splatted shirt, tie-dyed by Greg Saleas.
It reminds me of camouflage. Christian thinks spinach. I think the best of mix would be camouflage spinach equals.
I don't think so. Yeah, no, I appreciate you making the effort to meet me in the middle, but let's stop it here. All right, baddies. We'll talk to you next time.
Yams.
Bye.
That bad.